Samsaradhavam Lalalita Tranayakarunyaganaganatvam Praptasya Kalyana Gunarnavasya Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam Mahaprabhu Kirtan Nitya Gitya Vaditramadhyan Manasurasena Romanchakam Pashrutaranga Bhaja Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam Shri Vigharadhana Nityanana Shrungaratan Mandiramarjanadam Yuktasya bhaktam syanjatopi Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam Chaturvedha Sri Bhagavat Prasadam Swadhanna Triptan Hari Bhakta Sangan Kritvaiva Triptam Bhajata Sadaiva Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam Shri Radhika Madhavayorapara Madhurya Leela Guna Rupanamnam Pratikshana Swaha Dhanalolupasya Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam Nikunjayona Rati Keli Siddhyai Yayali Bhir Yuktirapekshaniya Tatradidaksya Dati Vallabhasya Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam Sakshadharitven Samasta Shastra Uktastatha Bhav Yata Eva Sadbhi Kintu Prabhurya Priya Eva Tasya Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam यस्य प्रसादात् भगवत्प्रसादो यस्य प्रसादात् न गतिर्कुतोऽपि ध्यायन्स्तु तस्य यशस्त्रिसन्ध्यं वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम् 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 नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने प्रभुपाद नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद चैतन्य नित्यानंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि और भक्त वृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद चैतन्य नित्यानंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Srila Guru Deva. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परवरचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद् भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परवरचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी महाराज की नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जाय, गंगा माई यमुना माई की जाय, भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी की जाय, साम वेद भक्तरविंद की जाय, युग धर्म हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Namaste Narasimhaya Prahladala Dadaine Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha शीलतांका नकालहै इतो नरसिंहा पर तो नरसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा बाहिर नरसिंहा हृदय नरसिंहा नरसिंहम् अदिं शरणं पप्रदे तव कर कमलवरे नाकाम अबुदशिंगा दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनभृंगा केशवदीता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे कर कमलवरे अबुदशिंगा दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनभृंगा केशवदीता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव देव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव
नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः राधा कृष्ण सेवा भावो ये अभिलाषी राधा कृष्ण सेवा भावो ये अभिलाषी जे तोमार शरण लय तारा वंश पूर्ण হয় কৃপা করি করো তারে বৃন্দাবনবাসী मोरा ये अभिलाष विलास જે દિયો બાસ નયને હેરી ભો સધા જુગલ રૂપ રાશી ये निवेदनाधारो सखीरनुगाता करो सेवाधिकार दिए करो निज दासी दीन कृष्ण दासे को ये न मोरा होय श्री राधा गोविंद प्रेमे सदा ये न भासी श्री राधा गोविंद प्रेमे सदा ये न भासी नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी. जय वृंदा देवी जय वृंदा देवी जय वृंदा देवी जय वृंदा देवी. जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद. जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव. निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल. प्रियाय केशवस्य च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्वत्ताय नमो नमः. वृंदाय तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशवस्य च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्वत्ताय नमो नमः. वृंदाय तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशवस्य च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्वत्ताय नमो नमः. वृंदा देवी तुलसी महारानी की.
Thus within my wish I shall behold the beautiful person Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make me follow a Kara dancer virgin. Please give me the privileged devotional service and make me your own maidservant. This very fallen lowly servant of Krishna praise. May I always swim in the love Shri Radha and Govinda. Srimati Tulasi Maharani ki jai. There are 10 fences in the matter of chanting holy names that should be avoided, and they are as follows. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated life for propagating holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the name of the demigods like Lord Shiva or Brahma to be equal to independent name Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic literature pursuant Vedic version. 5. To consider the glory of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities and strength for chanting holy name. 8. To consider chanting Hare Krishna with the auspicious ritualistic activities, offering the Veda fruity activities, karma, ganda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about glorious holy name. 10. To not complete faith in the chanting holy names, and to maintain material attachment in understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims a Vaishnava must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve desired success. Krishna Prema. Now let us offer our most humble obeisances on all the Vaishnava devotees, Lord. They are just thy trees who can fulfill to everyone, and they full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Shri Chaitanya Shastakam Ki Jai. Ceto Darpana Marjanam Bhavamahadavagni Nirvapanam Shriya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavatu Jivanam Anandam Purivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamita Sadhanam Sarvatamasnatamanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatra Pita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Etadishi Tava Kripa Bhagavam Mamapi Durudevami Desham Iha Janina Nurakaha Trinatapi Sunijena Tarorhapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtanya Sadaharihi Na Thanam Na Janam Na Sundarim Kavitam Vajagadisha Kamaye Mama Jammani Jamanishvare Bhavata Bhaktir Haituki Tvai Ayinanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Ham Vishame Bhavam Pada Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Sthita Duri Satesham Vichintaya Nayanam Galadashru Dharaya Vatanam Katkada Rudaya Gira Pulakai Nichitam Mapurkada Tavanama Krahane Pavishati Yuga itam nimishena chakshusha pravisha itam shunya itam jagat sarvam govinda virahe name ashrisha va padaratam pinnashtumam adarshanaham marmhatam karotu va yatha tatha va vitatha lampato mad prana natastu se eva na paraha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Chaitanya Shastakam Ki Jai. Glory to the Shri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes fire of conditional life, repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction of humanity at large, because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and enables us to fully taste the nectar for which always anxious. Oh my Lord, your holy name alone grants all benediction to human beings. Thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh my Lord, our kindness enables us to easily approach you by holy names, but I am so unfortunate I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than a straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready of all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor to desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Sahamarjananda Krishna, I am eternal servitor, yet somehow I fall in the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up this ocean of death and place me at one Adam, the lotus feet. O my Lord, while my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant the holy name, while my voice choke up or has my body stand at the recitation of your name. O Govinda, feeling your separation, I'm considering the moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and shall remain so if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful for Lord, unconditionally. Shri Chaitanya Shastakam Ki Jai. Shri Mangala Charna Prayers Ki Jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Hyananjana Shalakaya Chakshum Litam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurung Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragnatam Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadhuitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vidamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatya Desha Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Ti Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Dayitaya Kripaptaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhavin Namaha Madhuryo Jala Premadya Shri Rupa Nuka Bhaktita Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Mutaye Dina Darine Rupa Nuka Viruta Pasiddhanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Saksha Vairagya Mutaye Vipalambara Sambodhe Padam Pujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumistvam Nirtishta Sajanapriyaha Vaishnava Sara Bhaumashi Jaganathaya Te Namaha Vancha Kalpa Durupishcha Kripa Sindhu Pyevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishin Namaha Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishna Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakham Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Sratoro Pangor Mamamanta Materkati Masarva Swapadam Bojo Radha Madana Mohano Divya Vindadana Kalpadumata Shimadara Nagara Singhasanasto Shrimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Prishtaripi Sevyamano Smarami Shriman Rasa Rasarampi Vamsivata Tatastitaha Karsham Venu Saner Gopir Gopinatha Shiyestunaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanishvali Vishabhanu Sute Devi Panamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Mangalacharna Prayers Ki Jai Shri Brahma Samhita Ki Jai Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradia Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Chintamani Parakara Satmasukapa Viksha Lakshariteshu Surabhi Rabi Palayantam Lakshmi Sahasa Shatasam Paramasevimanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Venum Kavanantam Aravinda Dalayataksam Parhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Gantarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shopam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Alola Chantaka Lasavana Madhya Vamshi Ranangadam Panayakeli Kalavilasam Shamam Tribanga Lalitam Yatapakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasya Sakalendriya Vrittimanti Pashanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chimme Sadujila Vigrahasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Advaita Machottama Nadi Mananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabam Adurlabam Atma Bhakta Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Pantastu Koti Shatavasara Sampragamyo Vayuratapi Manaso Munipangavanan Sopiasti Yapapada Simya Vichinta Tatve Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ekopya Sarachaitum Jagadanta Kotim Yajakti Rasti Jagadanta Jayaya Dantaha Antantarastar Maramanu Jayantarastam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yad Bhava Bhavitadiyo Manujastateva Samprapya Rupa Mahimasana Yana Pushaha Suktayam eva nigama patitai stuvanti Govindamadi purusham tamaham pajami Ananda chimmaya rasa patibhavitapis Tapiya eva jarupa tayakalapihi Goloka eva nivasatya khilatma buddho Govindamadi purusham tamaham pajami Premanjana churuta bhakti vilochanena Santa Sadeva Hidayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundam Achintya Guna Swarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Ramadi Murtishu Kalanyamena Tishtan Nanavataramakaru Puvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhava Parama Pumamyo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami. Krishna, who is Govinda, the Supreme Godhead, has the internal, blissful, spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin and the prime cause of all causes. I worship Govinda, the primary Lord, the first progenitor, who is tending the cows, yielding all desire. In a most beautiful spiritual gem, surrounded by millions of purple trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is adept in playing on his flute with blooming eyes like lotus petals, with head decked with peacock's feather, with a figure of beauty tinged with the hue of blue clouds, and his unique loveliness charming millions of cupids.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, round whose neck is swinging a garland of flowers beautified with a moon locket, whose two hands are adored with the flute and jeweled ornaments, who always revels in pastimes of revels in pastimes of love, whose graceful threefold bending form of Syamasundara is eternally manifest. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose transcendental form is full of bliss, truth, substantiality, and is thus full of the most dazzling splendor. Each of the limbs of the transcendental figure possesses in himself the full-fledged functions of all the organs, and eternally sees, maintains, and manifests in infinite universes, both spiritual and mundane. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is inaccessible to the Vedas but obtainable by pure and allied devotion of the soul, who is without a second, who is not subject to decay, is without a beginning, whose form is endless, who is the beginning and the eternal Purusha. Yet he is the person possessing the beauty of blooming youth. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, only the tip of the toe of whose lotus feet is approached by the yogis who aspire after the transcendental and betake themselves to pranayama by drilling the respiration, or by the jnanis who try to find out the non-differentiated Brahman by the process of the elimination of the mundane, extending over thousands of millions of years. He is the undifferentiated entity, as there is no distinction between potency and the possessor thereof. In his work of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All the universes exist in him, and he is present in his fullness in every one of the atom that is scattered throughout the universe at one and the same time. Such is the primeval Lord who I adore.
I adore the same Govinda, the primeval Lord, in whose praise men who are imbued with devotion sing the mantra suktas told by the Vedas by gaining their appropriate beauty, greatness, thrones, conveyances, and ornaments.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm Golaka, with Radha resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of the ecstatic potency possessed of the 64 artistic activities in the company of her confidantes, Sakis, embodiment of the extension of her bodily form, permitted and vitalized by his ever blissful spiritual rasa.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Shamasundara Krishna himself with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, with whom the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts with eye of devotion, tinged with the salve of love.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who manifested himself personally as Krishna and the different avatars in the world in the form of Rama, Narasimha, Vamana, etc., as his subjective portions. Taki Jai.
Bhagavad Gita 7.1 purport. Shrinvatam swakada Krishna punya sravana kirtanaha hridayanta histo hi abhadrani vidinoti suhritsatam nasta prayesva abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki tada rajastamo bhava kama lobha dayaschaye cheta eter अनावेदं सितं सत्त्वे प्रसीदति एवं प्रसन्नमनसो भगवद्भक्तियोगतः भगवत्तत्त्वविज्ञानं मुक्तसङ्गस्य जायते विद्यते हृदयग्रन्थेश्चिद्यन्ते सर्वसंशयाः क्षीयन्ते च कर्माणि दृष्टा एवात्मनीश्वरे. To hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita is itself righteous activity. And for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, acts as the best wishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing of him. In this way, devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge. As he hears more about Krishna from the Bhagavatam and from the devotees, he becomes fixed in the devotional service of the Lord. By development of devotional service, one becomes freed from the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus material lust and avarice are diminished. When these impurities are wiped away, the candidate remains steady in his position of pure goodness, becomes enlivened by devotional service, and understands the science of God perfectly. Thus, Bhakti Yoga severs the hard knot of material affection and enables one to come at once to the stage of Samsayam Samagram, understanding of the absolute truth personality of Godhead. Bhagavatam 1.2, to 21. Therefore, only by hearing from Krishna or from his devotee in Krishna consciousness can one understand the science of Krishna. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 13, Text 44. Vidunvata Vedamayam Nijam Vapur Jhanastapa Satya Nivasino Vayam Satasiko Dhuta Sivam Bubu Bindubhir Vijramyamana Brasam Isapavitaham. Vidunvata, while shaking Vedamayam, personified Vedas, Nijam, own, Vapuhu, body, Janaha, the Janaloka planetary system, Tapaha, the Tapaloka planetary system, Satya, the Satyaloka planetary system, Nivasinaha, the inhabitants, Vayam, we, Sata, hairs on the shoulder, Sikha Uddhuta, sustained by the tip of the hair, Siva, auspicious, Ambu, water, Bindubihi, by the particles, Vimjrayam Manaha, we are thus sprinkled by Brisham, highly, Isha, O Supreme Lord. Pavitaha, purified. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O Supreme Lord, undoubtedly, we are inhabitants of the most pious planets, the Jana, Tapas, and the Satyalokas. But still we have been purified by the drops of water sprinkled from your shoulder hairs by the shaking of your body. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ordinarily, the body of a hog is considered impure, but one should not consider that the hog incarnation assumed by the Lord is also impure. That form of the Lord is the personified Vedas and in this transcendental. The inhabitants of the Jana, Tapas, and Satyalokas are the most pious persons in the material world. But because those planets are situated in the material world, there are so many material impurities there also. Therefore, when the drops of water from the tips of the Lord's shoulder hairs were sprinkled upon the bodies of the inhabitants of the higher planets, they felt purified. The Ganges water is pure because of its emanating from the toe of the Lord, and there is no difference between the water emanating from the toe and that from the top of the hair on the shoulder of boar. They are both absolute and transcendental. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 13, Text 45. Savai bata brista matistavai sate ya karma nam param apara karmanaha yad yoga maya guna yoga mohitam vishwam samastam bhagavan videti sam. Saha, he, why, certainly, bata, alas, brashta matihi, nonsense, tava, your, esate, desires, yaha, one who, karmanam, of activities, param, limit, apara karmanaha, of one who has unlimited activities, yet by whom, yoga, mystic power, maya, potency, guna, modes of material nature, yoga, mystic power, mohitam, bewildered, vishwam, the universe, samastam, in total, Bhagavan, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, videhi, Vaidehi, just be pleased to bestow. Sam, good fortune. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O Lord, there is no limit to your wonderful activities. Anyone who desires to know the limit of your activities is certainly nonsensical. Everyone in this world is conditioned by the powerful mystic potencies. Please bestow your causeless mercy upon those on these conditioned souls. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Mental speculators who want to understand the limit of the unlimited are certainly nonsensical. Every one of them is captivated by the external potencies of the Lord. The best thing for them is to surrender unto Him, knowing Him to be inconceivable, for thus they can receive His causeless mercy. This prayer was offered by the inhabitants of the higher planetary systems, namely the Jana, Tapas, and Satyalokas, who are far more intelligent and powerful than humans. Vishwan Samastam is very significant here. These are the material world and the spiritual world. The sages pray, both worlds are bewildered by your different energies. Those who are in the spiritual world are absorbed in your loving service, forgetting themselves and you also. And those in the material world are absorbed in material sense gratification and therefore also forget you. No one can know you because you are unlimited. It is best not to try to know you by unnecessary mental speculation. Rather, kindly bless us so that we can worship you with causeless devotional service. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 13, Text 46. Maitreya Uvacha iti upastiyamano sau munibhirbrahmavadibihi salile swakura kranta upadatta vitavanim. Maitreya Uvacha, the sage Maitreya said, iti thus upastiyamanaha, being praised by Asau, Lord Bore, Munibihi, by the great sages, Brahmavadibihi, by the transcendentalists, Salile, on the water, Swakura Akrante, touched by his own hooves, Upadhatta, placed, Abhita, the maintainer, Avanim, the earth. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The sage Maitreya said, the Lord, being thus worshipped by all the great sages and transcendentalists, touched the earth with his hooves and placed it on the water. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The earth was placed on the water by his inconceivable potency. The Lord is all powerful and therefore he can sustain the huge planets either on the water or in the air as he likes. The tiny human brain cannot conceive how these potencies of the Lord can act. Man can give some vague explanation of the laws by which such phenomena are made possible, but actually the tiny human brain is unable to conceive of the activities of the Lord, which are therefore called inconceivable. Yet the frog philosophers still try to give some imaginary explanation. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 13, Text 47. Sa itam bhagavan urvim visvaksenaha prajapatihi rasaya liloyannitam apsu nyasya yayau harihi saha hi itam. In this manner, Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Urvim, the earth, Vishwakshenaha, another name of Vishnu, Prajapatihi, the Lord of the living entities, Rasayaha, from within the water, Leelaya, very easily, Unnitam, raised, Apsu, on the water, Nyasya, placing, Yayau, returned to his own abode, Harihi, the personality of Godhead. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In this manner, the personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, the maintainer of all living entities, raised the earth from within the water, and having placed it afloat on the water, he returned to his own abode. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, descends by his will to the material planets in his innumerable incarnations for particular purposes. And again he goes back to his own abode. When he descends, he is called an avatara, because avatara means one who descends. Neither the Lord himself nor his specific devotees who come to this earth are ordinary living entities like us. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 13, Text 48. Ya evam etam hari medaso harehe katham subhadram kataniya mayinaha srinvita bhaktya sravayeta vosatim janardano syasu hridi prasidati. Yaha, one who, evam, thus, etam, this, harimedasaha, who destroys the material existence of the devotee, hare, of the personality of Godhead, katham, narration, subhadram, auspicious, Kathaniya, worthy to narrate, Mayinaha of the merciful by his internal potency, Srinvita hears, Bhaktya and devotion, Sravayeta also allows others to hear, Va either Usatim, very pleasing, Janardanaha, the Lord, Asya, his, Asu, very soon, Hridi, within the heart, Prasidati, becomes very pleased. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. If one hears and describes in a devotional service attitude this, if one hears and describes in a devotional service attitude this auspicious narration of Lord Bore, which is worthy of description, the Lord who is within the heart of everyone is very pleased. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In his various incarnations, the Lord appears, acts, and leaves behind him a narrative history which is an transcendental as he himself. Every one of us is fond of hearing some wonderful narration, but most stories are neither auspicious nor worth hearing because they are of the inferior quality of material nature. Every living entity is of superior quality, spirit, soul, and nothing material can be auspicious for him. Intelligent person should therefore hear personally and cause others to hear the descriptive narrations of the Lord's activities, for that will destroy the pangs of material existence. Out of his causeless mercy only, the Lord comes to this earth and leaves behind his merciful activities, so that the devotees may derive transcendental benefit. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 13, Text 49. Tasmin prasanni sakala sisam prabhu kim durlabham thabir alam lavatma bihi ananya drishya bhajatam guhasayaha swayam vidate swagatim parah param. Tasmin, unto him, prasanne, being pleased, sakalam asisam, of all benediction, prabhu, unto the Lord, kim, what is that? Durlabham, with very difficult to obtain, tabihi, with them, alam, away, lava atma bihi, with insignificant gains, ananya drishya, by nothing but devotional service, Bachatam, of those who are engaged in devotional service, Guha Asayam, residing within the heart, Swayam, personally, Vidatte, executes, Swagatim, in his own abode, Paraha, the supreme, Param, transcendental. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nothing remains unachieved when the Supreme Personality of Godhead is pleased with someone. By transcendental achievement, one understands everything else to be insignificant. One who engages in transcendental loving service is elevated to the highest perfectional stage by the Lord himself, who is seated in everyone's heart. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 10.10, the Lord gives intelligence to the pure devotees so that they may be elevated to the highest perfectional stage. It is confirmed herein that a pure devotee who constantly engages in the loving service of the Lord is awarded all knowledge necessary to reach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For such a devotee, there is nothing valuable to be achieved but the Lord's service. If one serves faithfully, there is no possibility of frustration because the Lord himself takes charge of the devotee's advancement. The Lord is seated in everyone's heart and he knows the devotee's motive and arranges everything achievable. In other words, the pseudo devotee who is anxious to achieve material gains cannot attain the highest perfectional stage because the Lord is in knowledge of his motive. One merely has to become sincere in his purpose, and then the Lord is there to help in every way. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 13, Text 50. Ko name loke purusardas saravet pura kathanam bhagavat katha sudham apiya karnanji libir bhavapaham aho virajyate vinana naretaram. Kaha, who, nama, indeed, loke, in the world, purusha artha, goal of life, sara with, one who knows the essence of, pura kathanam, of all past stories, bhagavat, regarding the personality of Godhead, katha sudham, the nectar of the narrations of the personality of Godhead, apiya, by drinking, karna anna jalibihi, by oral reception, bhava apaham, that which kills all material pangs, aho, alas, virajyate, jeta, could refuse, vina, except, nara itaram, other than the human being. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Who other than one who is not a human being can exist in this world and not be interested in the ultimate goal of life? Who can refuse the nectar of narrations about the personality of Godhead's activities, which by itself can deliver one from all material pangs? Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The narration of the activities of the personality of Godhead is like a constant flow of nectar. No one can refuse to drink such nectar except one who is not a human being. Devotional service to the Lord is the highest goal of life for every human being. And such devotional service begins by hearing about the transcendental activities of the personality of Godhead. Only an animal or a man who is almost an animal in behavior can refuse to take an interest in hearing the transcendental message of the Lord. There are many books of stories and histories in the world, but except for the histories or narrations on the topics of the personality of Godhead, none are capable of diminishing the burden of material pangs. Therefore, one who is serious about eliminating material existence must chant and hear of the transcendental activities of the personality of Godhead. Otherwise, one must be compared to the non-humans. Thus, in the Bhakti Vedanta purports of the 3rd canto, 13th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Appearance of the Lord Varaha.
Chapter 14, Pregnancy of Diti in the Evening, Text 1. Sri Sukha Uvacha Nisamya Kausara Vinopavarnitam Hare Katam Karana Sukha Sukaratmanah Punah Sapaprachatam Udyatanjali Nachati Trupto Viduro Drutavatah. Sri Sukha Uvacha. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, Nisamya, after hearing, Kaushara Vina by the sage Maitreya, Upavarnitam described, Hare of the personality of Godhead, Kadam narrations, Karana for the reason of uplifting the earth, Sukara Atmanaha of the boar incarnation, Punah again Sahi, Papracha inquired, Tam from him, Maitreya, Udyata Anjali with folded hands, Na never, Cha also, Atitruptaha very much satisfied, Vidura, Dhruta Vrataha taken to a O. Translation. Sukadeva Goswami said, after hearing from the great sage Maitreya about the Lord's incarnation as Varaha, Vidura, who had taken a vow, begged him with folded hands to please narrate further transcendental activities of the Lord, since he, Vidura, did not yet feel satisfied. Text 2.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 14, Text 2. Vidura Uvacha Tenaivatu Munishreshta Harina Yajna Murtina Adi Daityo Hiranyaksho Hata Iti Anususruma. Viduraha Uvacha, Sri Vidura said, Tena, by him, Eva, certainly, too, but Munishreshta, O chief among the sages, Harina, by the personality of Godhead, Yajna Murtina, the form of sacrifices, Adi, original, Daitya, demon, Hiranyaksha, by the name Hiranyaksha, Hataha, slain, Iti, thus, Anusushruma, heard in succession. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sri Vidura said, O chief amongst the great sages, I have heard by disciplic succession that Hiranyaksha, the original demon, was slain by the same form of sacrifice as the personality of Godhead, Lord Boar. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. As referred to previously, the boar incarnation was manifested in 2 millenniums, namely Swayambhuva and Chakshusha. In both millenniums, there was a boar incarnation of the Lord, but in the Swayambhuva millennium, he lifted the earth from within the water of the universe, whereas in the Chakshusha millennium, he killed the first demon Hiranyaksha. In the Swayambhuva millennium, he assumed the color white, and in the Chakshusha millennium, he assumed the color red. Vidura had already heard about one of them, and he proposed to hear about the other. The 2 different boar incarnations described are the one Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Text 3. Canto 3, chapter 14. Chadar. Wanna study? Text 3.
तस्या कुदारतकुश तस्या कोदारताक्षोणिं स्वदांस्त्राग्रेण लीलया दैत्याराजस्य च ब्राह्मन् कश्मद्देतोरभुन् मृदाः.
Tasya, his cha also, Udahrataha, while lifting, shouting the earth planet, Swadamstra Agrena, by the edge of his tusks, Leelaya, in his pastimes, Daitya Rajasya, of the king of demons, Cha and Brahman, O Brahmana, Kasmat, from what? Hetav, reason, Abhut, there was, Mrudaha, fight.
There was a fight? Translation. What was the reason, O Brahmana, for the fight between the demon king and the Lord bore while the Lord was lifting the earth as his pastime? That's actually a good question.
Text 4. Canto 3, chapter 14.
My text was short. Very short. Text 4. Shraddhanaya bhaktaya bruhi tajna janma vishtaram rishena tripyati manaha param kautuhalam hime. Stop helping me, I know.
I have to sing too. I'm not helping you. Shraddhanaya, unto a faithful person, Bhaktaya, unto a devotee. Bruhi, please narrate. Tat, his Janma, appearance. Vistaram, in detail. Rishe, O great sage. No, not. Trupyati, become satisfied. Mana, mind. Param, very much. Kautuhalam, inquisitive. He, certainly. May, my.
You didn't just read all of that quickly.
You see how the people ask questions. This is how humble way you ask questions. You learn how to ask questions.
How did you read that quickly?
Keep going, baby. You're sleeping. Keep going.
Translation. My mind has become very inquisitive, and therefore I am not satisfied with hearing the narration of the Lord's past appearance. Please, therefore, speak more and more to a devotee who is faithful.
Yeah, it's on.
Purport. One who is actually faithful and inquisitive is qualified to hear the transcendental pastimes of the appearance and disappearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vidura was a suitable candidate to receive such transcendental messages. I know it's the end.
Text 5. Canto 3, chapter 14. Maitreya Uvacha Sadhuvira Tvaya Prashtam Avatara Katam Harehi Yatvam Pruchasi Martyanam Mrutyupasa Visa Thanim. Maitreya Uvacha, Maitreya said, Sadhu, O devotee, Veera, O warrior, Tvaya, by you, Prashtam, inquired, Avatara Katam, topics on the incarnation of the Lord, Hare, of the personality of Godhead, yet that which, Tvam, your good self, Pruchasi, asking me, Martyanam, of those who are destined for death, Mrutyupasa, the chain of birth and death, Visatanim, source of liberation. Translation. The great sage Maitreya said, O warrior, the inquiry made by you is just befitting a devotee because it concerns the incarnation of the personality of Godhead. He is the source of liberation from the chain of birth and death. for all those who are otherwise destined to die. Purport. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The great sage Maitreya addressed Vidura as a warrior not only because Vidura belonged to the Kuru family but because he was anxious to hear about the chivalrous activities of the Lord in his incarnations of Varaha and Narsimha. Because the inquiries concerned the Lord, they were perfectly befitting a devotee. A devotee has no taste for hearing anything mundane. There are many topics of mundane warfare, but a devotee is not inclined to hear them. The topics of the warfare in which the Lord engages do not concern the war of death, but the war against the chain of Maya, which obliges one to accept repeated birth and death. In other words, one who takes delight in hearing the war topics of the Lord is relieved from the chains of birth and death. Foolish people are suspicious of Krishna's taking part in the battle of Kurukshetra, not knowing that his taking part ensured liberation for all who were present on the battlefield. It is said by Bhishma Deva that all who were present on the battlefield of Kurukshetra attained their original spiritual existences after death. Therefore, hearing the war topics of the Lord is as good as any other devotional service.
Text 6. Yayato yayatana pada yayotano na padaha putro munina gitayar bhakkaha mrityo kritvaiva murdninangrim aruroha hare padam.
I know. Yeah, by which Uttanapada of King Uttanapada, Putra, son, Munina, by the sage, Gitaya, being sung, Arbaka, a child, Mrutyoha, of death, Kritva, placing, Eva, certainly, Murdni, on the head, Angrim, feet, Aruroha, ascended, Hare, of the personality of Godhead, Padam, to the abode. Translation.
By hearing these topics from the sage Narada, the king of King Uttanapad, the son of King Uttanapada, Dhruva was enlightened regarding the personality of Godhead, and he ascended to the abode of the Lord, placing his feet over the head of death. Purport by his grace. Purport by his divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. While quitting his body, Maharaja Dhruva, the son of King Uttanabada, was attended by personalities like Sunanda, and others, who received him in the kingdom of God. He left this world at an early age, as a young boy, although he had attained the throne of his father and had several children of his own. Because he was due to quit this world, death was awaiting for him. He did not care for death. However, even with his present body, he boarded a spiritual airplane and went directly to the planet of Vishnu because of his association with the great sage Narada, who had spoken to him the narration of the pastimes of the Lord.
Text 7. Atatra pittihasoyam shruto me varnitah pura brahmana deva devena devanam anupruchatam. Ata, now, atra, in this matter, api, also, itihasa, history, ayam, this, shruta, heard, me, by me, Varnitaha described Pura years ago, Brahmana by Brahma, Deva Devena, the foremost of the demigods, Devanam by the demigods, Anupruchatam asking. Translation: this history of the fight between the Lord as a boar and the demon Hiranyaksha was heard by me in a year long ago, as it was described by the foremost of the demigods, Brahma, when he was questioned by the other demigods. Text 8.
Didiyadakshani kshatar maricham kashyapam patim apatyakamaka chakame sandhyayam hricha yarditya ata now arta atra. Sorry. Diti, Dakshyani, the daughter of Daksha, Kshataha, Ovidra, Maricham, the son of Marichi, Kashyapa, Patim, her husband, Apatyakama, Kama, desirous of having a child. Chakame, longed for. Sandhyayam, in the evening. Hritsaya, by sex desires. Ardita, distressed. Oh, they're talking about Diti again? Translation: Diti, daughter of Daksha, being afflicted with sex desire, begged her husband Kashyapa, the son of Marichi, to have intercourse with her in the evening in order to beget a child.
Text 9, Canto 3, Chapter 14. Istvagni jihvam payasa purusham yujusam patim nimlochati arka asinam agni agare samahitam. Istva, after worshipping, Agni, fire, Jihvam, tongue, Payasa, by oblation, Purusham, unto the Supreme Person, Ejusam, of all sacrifices, Patim, master, Nimlochati, while setting, Arke, the sun, Asinam, sitting, Agni Agare, in the sacrificial hall, Samahitam, completely in trance. Translation: the sun was setting and the sage was sitting in trance after offering oblation to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu, whose tongue is the sacrificial fire. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Fire is considered to be the tongue of the Personality of Godhead Vishnu, and oblations of grains and clarified butter offered to the fire are thus accepted by him. That is the principle of all sacrifices, of which Lord Vishnu is the master. In other words, the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu includes the satisfaction of all demigods and other living beings.
That's why they put like bananas and fruits. And they use coconut. That's why. The translation. Text 10. Titiruvacha Ishemam Tvatkrite Vidvan Kama Atasharashanaha Dunoti Dinam Vikramya Rambham Iva Matangaja.
That's how we learn Sanskrit. I'm not doing this anymore. We learn Sanskrit by reading the translation word to word, Nana. Page 549.
Oh, 549? Okay, this is one more page before, so it doesn't. Dityuvacha, beautiful Diti said, Eshaha, all these, mom, unto me, Tvat krite, for you, Vidvan, O learned one, Kamaha, Cupid, Atasharasanaha, taking his arrows, Dinoti, distresses, Dinam, poor me, Vikramya, attacking, Rambham, banana tree, Iva, like, Matam Gajaha, mad elephant. Translation. In that place, the beautiful Diti expressed her desire. O learned one, Cupid is taking his arrows and distressing me forcibly, as a mad elephant troubles a banana tree. Purport. Beautiful Diti, seeing her husband absorbed in trance, began to speak loudly, not attempting to attract him by bodily expressions. She frankly said that her whole body was distressed by sex desire because of her husband's presence, just as the banana tree is troubled by a mad elephant. It was not natural for her to agitate her husband when he was in trance, but she could not control her strong sexual appetite. Her sex desire was like a mad elephant, and therefore it was the prime duty of her husband to give her all protection by fulfilling her desire.
Text 11. Tad bhavan dahyamanayam sapatninam samruddhibihi prajavatinam badram te mai ayung tum anugraham. Tat therefore bhavan, your good self, dahyamanayam, being distressed, sapatninam, of the co-wives, samruddhibihi, by the prosperity, prajavatinam, of those who have children, badram, all prosperity, the, unto you, mai, unto me, ayung tham, do unto me in all respects, anugraham, favor. Translation. Therefore you should be kind towards me by showing me complete mercy. I desire to have sons, and am much distressed by seeing the opulence of my co-wives. By performing this act, you will become happy. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In Bhagavad Gita, sexual intercourse for begetting children is accepted as righteous. A person sexually inclined for simple sense gratification, however, is unrighteous. In Diti's appeal to her husband for sex, it was not exactly that she was afflicted by sex desires, but she desired sons. Since she had no son, she felt poorer than her co-wives. Therefore, Kashyapa was supposed to satisfy his bona fide wife.
She's not bona fide. Oh. Bhartari aptura aptoru mananam lokanavashata yashaha Bhatir bhavat vido yasham prajayana nujayate.
No. Bhartari, by the husband. Apta urumananam, of those who are beloved. Lokan, in the world. Avisate, spreads. Yasha, fame. Pati, husband. Bhavat vidaha, like your good self. Yasam, of those whose. Prajaya, by children. Nanu, certainly. Jayate, expands.
Translation. A woman is honored in the world by the benediction of her husband, and a husband like you will become famous by having children because you are meant for the expansion of living entities. Purport. According to Rishabhadeva, one should not become a father or a mother unless one is confident that he can beget children whom he can deliver from the clutches of birth and death. Human life is the only opportunity to get out of the material scene, which is full of the miseries of birth, death, old age, and diseases. Every human being should be given the opportunity to take advantage of his human form of life. And the father, like Kashyapa, is supposed to beget good children for the purpose of liberation.
Text 13. Purapitano Bhagavan Daksho Dihitra Vachalaha Kamavrinita Varam Vacha Iti Aprachatana Pratak Pura, in days long ago, Pita, father, our Bhagavan, the most opulent, Daksha, Duhitra Vatsalaha, affectionate to his daughters, come unto whom, Rinita, you want to accept, Varam, your husband, Vachaha, O my children, Iti thus, Apruchata inquired, as Prutak separately. Translation: in days long ago, our father, the most opulent Daksha, who was affectionate to his daughters, asked each of us separately whom we would prefer to select as our husband. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. It appears from this verse that free selection of a husband was allowed by the father, but not by free association. The daughters were asked separately to submit their selection of a husband who was famous for his acts and personality. The ultimate selection depended on the choice of the father. Text 14.
Don't pull it away. Don't. Just leave it here. Leave it there. Leave it here. Okay. Text 14. Viditvatmaja janam no bhavam santana bhavanaha trayo doshadathat Sasham yaste silam anuvrataha. I tricked you last time. Saha Daksha Viditva, understanding Atma Janam of the daughters. Naha, our. Bhavam, indication. Bhavam, indication. Santanam, children. Bhavanaha. Well wisher. Trayodashaha. 13. Adadat, handed over. Dasham, of all of them. Yaha, those who were. They, your. Silam, behavior. Anuvrahataha, all faithful. Translation: our well-wishing father Daksha, after knowing our intentions, handed over 13 of his daughters unto you. And since then we have all been faithful. Purport: generally, the daughters were too shy to express their opinions before their father, but the father would accept their daughters' intentions through someone else, such as a grandmother, to whom the grandchildren had free access. King Daksha collected the opinions of his daughters and thus handed over 13 to Kashyapa. Every one of Diti's sisters was a mother of children. Therefore, since she was equally faithful to the same husband, why should she remain without children?
Text 15. Atame kuru kalyanam khamam kamalalochana ardopasarpanam bhuman amogham hi mahiyasi. Ata, therefore, may unto me, Kuru, kindly do, Kalyanam, benediction, Khamam, desire, Kamala Lochana, O lotus-eyed one, Artha, of distressed, Upasarpanam, the approaching, Bhuman, O greatly one, Amogam, without failure, he certainly, Mahiyasi, to a great person. Translation: O lotus-eyed one, kindly bless me by fulfilling my desire. When someone in distress approaches a great person, his pleas should never go in vain. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Diti knew well that her request might be rejected because of the untimely situation. But she pleaded that when there is an emergency or a distressful condition, there is no consideration of time or situation. Text 16.
I'm not on the verse yet. I haven't flipped the page. Iti tam vira marichaha kripanam bahuvashina bashinim pratyahanunayan vacha pravedanaksamalam. Iti, thus, tam, unto her, Vira, O hero, Marichaha, the son of Marichi, Kashyapa, Krishpanam, unto the poor, Bahu, Bashinim, too talkative, Pratyaha, replied, Anunaya, no, pacifying, Vacha, by words, Pravridha, highly agitated, Ananga, lust, Kashmalam, contaminated. Translation: O hero Vidraditi, being thus afflicted by the contamination of lust, and therefore pure and talkative, was pacified by the son of Marichi in suitable words. When a man or woman is afflicted by the lust of sex desire, it is to be understood as sinful contamination. Kashyapa was engaged in his spiritual activities, but he did not have sufficient strength to refuse his wife, who was thus afflicted. He could have refused her with strong words expressing impossibility, but he was not as spiritually strong as Vidra. Vidra is addressed here as a hero because no one is stronger in self-control than a devotee of the Lord. It appears that Kashyapa was already inclined to have a sexual enjoyment with his wife, and because he was not a strong man, he tried to dissuade her only with pacifying words.
Text 17. Eshate aham vidasyami priyam biru yadichasi tasya kamam na kurya siddhistaivaji kiyataha. Esha, this, te, your request, aham, I, vidasyami, shall execute, priyam, very dear, biru, O afflicted one, yat, what, ichasi, you are desiring, tasya, her, khamam, desires, no, not, ka, who, Kuryat would perform. Siddhihi, perfection of liberation. Traivar Chiki, 3. Yataha, from whom. Translation: O afflicted one, I shall forthwith gratify whatever desire is dear to you. For who else but you is the source of 3 perfections of liberation? Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The 3 perfections of liberation are religiosity, economic development, and sense gratification. For a conditioned soul, the wife is considered to be the source of liberation because she offers her service to the husband for his ultimate liberation. Conditional material existence is based on sense gratification. And if someone has good fortune to get a good wife, he is helped by the wife in all respects. If one is disturbed in his conditional life, he becomes more and more entangled in material contamination. A faithful wife is supposed to cooperate with her husband in fulfilling all material desires so that he can then become comfortable and execute spiritual activities for the perfection of life. If, however, the husband is progressive in spiritual advancement, the wife undoubtedly shares in his activities, and thus both the wife and the husband profit in spiritual perfection. It is essential, therefore, that girls as well as boys be trained to discharge spiritual duties so that at the time of cooperation both will be benefited. The training of the boy is brahmacharya and the training of the girl is chastity. A faithful wife and spiritually trained brahmachari are a good combination for advancement of the human mission. Text 18.
Text 18. Sarvashramam upadaya swashramena kalaptravan vyasanarnam vam atyeti jalayanayyatarnavam. Sarva, all, ashramam, social orders, upadaya, completing, sva, own, ashramena, by the social orders, kalatravan, a person living with a wife, vyasana arnavam, the dangerous ocean of material existence, atyeti, one can cross over, jalayanihi, yanai, with sea-going vessels. Yata, as, arnavam, the ocean. Translation. As one can cross over the ocean with sea-going vessels, one can cross the dangerous situation of the material ocean by living with a wife. Purport. There are 4 social orders for cooperation in the behavior for liberation from a material existence. The orders of brahmacharya or pious student life, household life with a wife, retired life, and renounced life all depend for successful advancement on the householder life who lives with a wife. This cooperation is essential for the proper functioning of the This cooperation is essential for the proper functioning of the institution of the hour, so for the 4 social orders and the 4 spiritual spiritual orders of life. Varnashrama system is generally known as the caste system. The man who lives with a wife has the great responsibility in maintaining the members of the other social orders, the brahmacharis, vanaprashthas, and sannyasis. Except for grahasthas, or the householders, everyone is supposed to be engaged in the spiritual advancement of life. And therefore the brahmachari, the vanaprashta, or the sannyasi have grahasthas, and thus they secure the bare necessities of life and cultivate spiritual values. The householder also makes advancement in spiritual life. Ultimately, every member of society automatically becomes spiritually advanced and easily crosses the ocean of necessary science. Gantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Today we read up to Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 3, Chapter 14, Text 18. Tomorrow we will continue from Text 19, etc. Hare Krishna. We will start Guru Puja.